Good day to you all. I'm here with Tony Merwin. No one here should be a stranger to the Merwinator. Tony is a vibrant, insurance marketer who knows his stuff and builds awesome relationships. He's a really good time to hang out with, and it's a fruitful and mutually beneficial relationship, right?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to get to hang out with the guru.
Yeah, man. Well, today I wanted to, we're doing some, we're partnering with Tony on some products because they have some good new products and some products we've been partnered with for a while, and been trying to find more ways to work with Tony because we like working with good people, and Tony fits that bill. So first I want to talk about the Prosperity Medicare supplement launch, because some people are familiar with Prosperity from the Final Expense world. Some people were familiar with the old block of Medicare supplement. And so even though I put this in an email to some people and say, this is Medicare supplement with Prosperity, it's a new contract, your old one isn't the same. Here's some details. Let me know if you want it. Still people would respond, already have that one.
Right.
No, you don't. So anyway, Tony, Prosperity Med Sup. I see a lot of good value in it. What is your high level overview take on it? What are the perks? Why is it hot? Why work with Prosperity Medicare supplement over some of the other contenders that are out there right now?
Yeah. One of the things I love about Medicare supplements in general is that no matter who they are, no matter how awesome the brand name is, they're all guaranteed renewable by the federal government, and they all pay claims the same way, right? They're all standardized. You and I know that. A lot of the pros in the business know that, but a lot of agents still tend to forget that. So I remind agents, don't just get stuck or pigeonhole yourself with all the big brand names. You're going to want the blue chips 100%. But every once in a while, there's a product like this that maybe the brand name isn't as recognizable, but the value that the product can bring to your market specifically can be tremendous. So, just to kind of give you a high level overview on it, they were going to roll out 16 states. They've actually pushed that back to August 30th. That was originally going to be Monday, but they've got a few other details they want to wrap up and make sure it's perfect on launch day, which I like, instead of kind of putting the cart before the horse. So they did push it back to the 30th. But you basically got about 13 states: Alabama, Arizona, Georgia, Indiana, Michigan, North Carolina, Nebraska, Nevada, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, West Virginia, Mississippi, and that's it. Georgia, I'm sorry. No, I said Georgia already. Okay, so yeah. So that's your initial launch. And then we've got more states that are going to launch in September and then later in September as well. But from a value standpoint, if you look at the product, MedSup's pretty rate driven, right? I mean, we don't always want to sell the cheapest rate, but generally it's a rate driven market. So from a rate standpoint, the rates I saw in just about every single zip code, and this includes plans F as in Frank, G as in Giraffe, N as in Nancy, they're rolling out all three. The rates are hot. Yeah. So it will be a very competitive, very affordable rate. They are going after the household discount rate, which seems like a lot of carriers are doing that. And I understand that. That's from an actuarial standpoint that believes that if you have another adult that lives in your home, you're more likely to take a little better care of yourself because you got somebody that can keep an eye on you, right? And hey, you don't look so good. We need to go see somebody, buddy. Yeah. So smart, right? So a lot of these carriers you're seeing, they're positioning their product to be attractive, very attractive at the household discount rate. They get that better business. They get better trends in the long run, right? So same thing, Prosperity's doing that. But just a few bullet points that one that's unique immediately on their Plan F rate, they are paying commission on the Part B deductible. Not too many people do that.
Yeah.
Actually almost nobody does.
That was something, they were one of the anomalies that did it on their last go around.
On their previous run, right.
And it was a very, beneficial thing on the Plan F, because
absolutely
a lot of agents aren't familiar with that. But in case you don't know, normally when you write a Plan F, they don't commission you on the Part B deductible. So if someone was just saving the Part B deductible, you're really going to make the same on a G as you did an F. With this one, if they want the F plan, and there's an argument for the F plan, in the future, potentially having lower rate increases. It's a very scattered thought process here where what's better long-term, F, G, or N, and there's a lot of people that have opinions on it. I find that opinions on that aren't, like, they're all just opinions. Right now I'd say probably the safest bet from a rate increase standpoint is Plan N, but then you get into some people that think Part B excess charges are an issue. So Plan F, G, and N, we're still writing a lot of G, just because it's kind of the greatest value plan,
Absolutely.
But we actually write probably an even split amount of F and N right now, maybe even a little more F, just from some people just want the convenience, man.
Sure.
Like
Absolutely. They don't want to have to figure out deductibles. I don't want to have to cut a check or pull my credit card out to pay my little deductible piece when I go in. 100%. And I get that.
There are some clients that I want to have the Plan F because they'll never understand the deductible. So,
correct.
So yeah. So,
no, that's not untrue.
So prosperity, that was one thing I was going to say about that last go around. I will say too, in the past, prosperity has been mild on rate increases. So a lot of times you'll have people that think, well, I have to go with a big carrier so they can sustain their rate increases. And this is no offense to any big carriers, but I've seen a lot of big blockbuster carriers with large blocks increase rates much larger than some of the smaller carriers sometimes. So there's not a lot of fluidity in the thought process of, I pick a certain company because it's going to raise their rates less. Even when you get into the ones that maybe are community rated, what I found is, a diminishing annual discount is still a rate adjustment based on age. And then they can still do an annual rate adjustment with the DOI. So when we look at it, I'm not sure that there's a massive variance over time in any of them. None of them, they all have a profit margin they have to have. And, but I have seen prosperity hold its own with any of the best out there. So I do think it's a play for somebody that's trying to find a company that has a history of not gouging rate increases, because they definitely haven't done that in the past.
Yeah. And I think the testament to that ultimately is in their product development. They're good at designing the product, right? They design a strong product. They don't get overly aggressive with rates. They position themselves generally. They want to be solid at the household discount rate with the right plans and the right zip codes. And then they're not the lenient underwriter. I mean, you look at the app, it's not gross, but it ain't the easiest one to get through. I mean, if you're insulin dependent diabetic, you're immediately out. That was one of the things that I noticed. There is a height weight chart, unlike some carriers. So, it's not going to be for your unhealthy clients. It's not going to be for your healthiest clients so much, but you want to make sure you're putting good business with it. And that's how they designed it. They want to attract agents that know, hey, this would be a great place where I can put a lot of my underwritten business. Right? Take good care of them, give them a good product, and I can build a nice stream of income on this tertiary product for myself. So that's really how I see it positioned.
We may have talked about this before, but right now, have they talked any underwritten bonus or anything like that?
Yeah, for underwritten apps, it's $175 app bonus.
Nice.
They are wanting a 5 app minimum in a month to obtain that.
Per agent number, right? So
correct, per agent number.
Yeah, well, that's pretty aggressive for a lot of states.
There's
some other companies out there giving some pretty lucrative ones, but most of them do not have the geographic footprint that this one's going to have. So
correct.
So yeah, that's good. Price competitively and giving an underwritten bonus. And the e-app is now has instant decision, which it didn't before in their last rollout. So
yep, they've upgraded the e-app. It'll have instant decision, voice sig, and e-sig options.
Yeah, perfect. Well, prosperity, guys, if you don't have it and you're in one of those 16 states or marketing there, you're going to want to have access to it. We picked it up with Tony. You can reach out to us to get it, Tony to get it, or your current upline. I don't want this to sound like a recruiting thing, but any of us can get it for you. So if you don't have it and you think you're going to need it, talk to us about it. If you have any follow-up questions on the underwriting, specifics or that sort of thing, check it out. Now in CSG, if somebody was to put a September 1 effective date, would the rates be loaded in there right now?
Not, it might be on a few states. I'm not seeing it. I started spot checking it.
Okay.
It wasn't on like Texas. I want to say I noticed it. I didn't notice it in Mississippi.
Yeah.
So I think maybe they're still finishing up some details there, but it's not fully
So probably
loaded up into CSG just yet.
Couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'd say tops. Yeah, probably in the next week or so, we'll see those rates start to appear so you can start to forecast for them. But then sales launch happens at the end of this month. A couple other details. I mean, the comp level on it's solid. It is I would say it's on par or higher than any other med sup out there as far as just standard street comp. Elevated comp on plan N for guys that do like to write plan N. You're not going to get penalized. You get a little more gravy in it. And they're also doing SSI billing on it, which is nice. So those are a few of the little details I thought were pretty slick. One, they're getting in line with some of the other carriers that are elevating plan N rates or plan N comp. And then I thought the SSI billing was a nice addition.
I like SSI billing. I think that comes from their final expense side.
It does, exactly.
It's good. And it's interesting because there are some big companies that have SSI billing on their final expense, but in the same e-app don't have it on their MedSup. And
right.
I think maybe the thinking is the MedSup client is different, but in rural areas, a MedSup client and a final expense client have a lot of overlap. And so
absolutely,
SSI billing option would be awesome. As a matter of fact, the way we sell, I would probably just pick that every time and just.
I know. As a matter of fact, I would too. It's like, hey, are you already drawing Social Security? Here we go. Boom. Right. It's done. That's, I mean, your best retention out there.
Persistence is going to be much higher with SSI billing. So
absolutely,
even on a MedSup client. So, if anything else comes up and people want to ask you questions about it, Tony, how can they get a hold of you? Obviously, Facebook, you're pretty active.
Yeah, I'm easy to find on Facebook for sure. Just shoot me a DM there. But you can reach me toll free, 800-998-7715. Just press 0 and ask for Tony. I'm the only Tony there.
Awesome. Perfect. All right, man. Well, that's Prosperity, guys. So give it a look. If you have any questions, get a hold of me or Tony or anybody else that you think might have access to it, and let us know, and we'll help you out.
Yeah, and one final thing, if you do have a Prosperity Life final expense contract, this is a new deal. You do have to get recontracted for the MedSup.
And you can have it through separate uplines.
That is correct. You can dual contract on it. Final expense over there, MedSup over here.
We're not telling you to do that, but sometimes you might have a final expense hierarchy, and then you do your Medicare somewhere else. You do not have to get it where your Prosperity final expense is, because perhaps that hierarchy doesn't have the best training or help on the Medicare supplement side. Maybe they focus in life. I know for a fact that there are guys that are much better at training on life insurance than I am, like Pete, that I would send those people to. But on the Medicare side, if you want somebody to help you with information that speaks that lingo, definitely want to get that contract with somebody that has that. So, but their life contract is lucrative too. So, awesome, Tony. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Glad we were able to help with that information. Thanks, guys.
Did you subscribe to the YouTube channel? Did you like the video? Please turn your notifications on and head over here to our next video. And if you haven't joined our Facebook group, check out Medicare Gurus. It's over 7,000 members strong currently, and there's tons and tons, a wealth of information and knowledge from experienced agents as well as new agents that you can find and help shepherd. So thank you guys so much for watching. Check this video out right here.